I've made this way more complicated than I need to. Yeah, I'm really frustrated.
This is a classic simple box video, this one. Oh man. Good afternoon, it's almost evening actually. Today is a weird video. Very weird video, very random, but I'm excited about it and I'm gonna film it anyway. So for those of you who are new, my name's Chris. I am converting this very noisy at the moment box truck into a work living space. And I've been doing it for quite a few months. And one thing that has happened today that I was not expecting, but is very typical of this van life journey, one of my lights has broken. Don't know why, don't know what's happened. So this light underneath here, this LED light strip, is no longer working. So I noticed over the past few days that sometimes it's taken a while to be detected by the app on the phone, but now it just isn't being recognized at all. So we're going to take a look at that. But the other thing is I've got a tiny little project that I'm going to make that's video game based, and it's quite exciting for me, and I'm going to film it because maybe some of you are interested in it, maybe not. But part of van life for me now especially is gaming. So if you're into gaming, there's an interesting little project here that you may be interested in. So let's kick off with the important task first, which is fixing this light. This is my lighting cabinet. It's actually way tidier than it normally is, but it's still definitely very untidy and unfinished. So what we have here as of right now is 3 out of the 4 light switches that I have. These are light controllers for the LEDs. This one that's not lit up, I am almost certain, yes, this is the desk light. So the fact that it's not lit up says to me that this unit is broken. So that makes sense. The other 2 are lit up. You can see these little green lights on the top. These 2 are lit up, so they are the working ones, and this one is a non-working one. So that says to me that there's no power going to the desk light, or the light unit is broken. So let's try something first. Let's troubleshoot. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to press and hold the button to see if it's, which it does not. The old jiggle test. Nothing going on there. Okay, so it looks like that one is possibly broken. So let's figure this out. I have a couple of spare light thingies that I can try out, so let's do that. This is my spare lighting unit, so let's open it up and I can show you how it works. So basically with these lighting units, it's super simple. This is the SP63XE series LED controller. It's a Bluetooth app and 2.4G remote control. The way that it works is very simple. You put the power cables into the top, and then you put the lighting cables into the bottom. This switch turns it on and off, and that's pretty much it. It's very unexciting. They also all come with a little mini screwdriver to be able to do these things, which is awesome, because I'm always forgetting where I put my screwdriver. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace the unit and see if it works. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to turn off the electricity. Are we? Hold on. What we're going to do is we're going to yank the fuse. Is that a terrible idea? No, we're going to turn... Think, Chris, think. First thing we're going to do is we're going to turn off all the power before we swap the unit out. That's what we're going to do, because that's the safe thing to do. Chris always does things the safe way. That change from blue to pink is changing from the grid power to the solar power, but we're also going to turn that off, and we are going to turn the battery off, disconnect that as well. We will have 0 light. which means we get to open the windows. So we can have some actual light. Beautiful. So first thing is disconnecting the solar, which is this switch here. Boom, which then brings it onto battery, which is why it goes red. In fact, then what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the inverter completely. Okay, inverter is off completely. Then we are going to disconnect the battery, which is this. The battery is now off. So normally I'd have to have a flashlight in these situations because it's just a solid box. But because I have windows, I actually have some light coming in and I can see what I'm doing, which is really weird. My gloves are elsewhere, so I'm going to put on some rubber gloves because I don't have my work gloves. Single-use gloves are better than no gloves at all when dealing with electricity. I don't trust electricity. Look at these sunbeams coming into my truck. Look at the way the light's falling on this, like a little Instagram photo. Okay, so this is the one that we're going to replace. What I'm going to do is I'm going to screw in the new one here because there's a gap for it, then just swap over these wires to this one here. Very easy. Okay, good. I'm going to turn on the power just to see if this lights up. See what happens. Oh shit. Interesting. Guess it's a power issue. So it seems like because there's no power going to that new one, it's a power issue. It's a delivery issue on those cables, which means that it's likely that it's a fuse, which is strange because they're supposed to blink when a fuse is gone, but not always. I'm gonna double check. I'm gonna replace the fuse and see what happens. If it's a fuse, then that's a good thing, I think. Because it means the unit isn't damaged. My mind automatically went to the worst case scenario. So let's take a look. These are blade fuses, which is pretty much what we use for 24 and 12 volts. And cars use it as well for the 12 volt electrical. So one of the first things that I bought was just every type of blade fuse possible. So I'm going to turn off the electrical again, off the battery. So this fuse board came with pre-made labels. So my desk light is labeled as deck lights. So let's take this off. And double check that fuse. This fuse looks like it's actually intact. Well, you can see that very well, which is not great. We're going to pull out completely and turn it back on and see what happens. I think I've mislabeled my lights for a start. Oh man, this is so jumbled. I am lost. I'm really quite lost. Okay, oh man. Okay, let's take a look here. I think I've mislabeled my lights. Whoopsie. So, I think this is a classic simple box video, this one. Oh man. So, the fuse I just removed turned this light out. So when I followed the wire down, this is actually the one that goes to the desk. It's mislabeled. So this bullshit is bullshit. We need to ignore that for now. This is the problem, but this was lighting up. So we can figure this one out. Okay. This means it was probably just a synchronization problem and I didn't need to do any of this stuff. Yes. Brilliant. Okay, let's try this again. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the fuse back into that one. Hold on. Yeah, everything's off. So we're going to put the fuse back into that top one that we thought was desk light, but it's not, I think. Okay, so then we're going to turn the power back on. Okay, power back on. Then, yes. So then that green light comes back on. So that's definitely the fuse to this one, which means that this is the desk light, which means the power is going to it. So if I press that, oh my God, it's back. It just needed resetting. Watch. Okay. So we fixed it. Oh man, this is a good thing. We fixed it. We also found the source of the problem, which is that the labeling on the light switches is wrong, which is good to know. It's very good to know. That's hilarious. Okay, that was unusual. That was not something that I was expecting, but we learned in real time and now we know better. So just to summarize what happened, if this wasn't clear, I replaced a LED light controller that didn't need replacing. I guess I switched over from one to the other. And all that needed to be done was for me to turn off the power on the controller that wasn't working and turn it back on again. That's all I needed to do, but I didn't. What? Okay. The good thing about this is that the new one that I reinstalled has some fresh new terminal ends on them, which makes them a lot more secure. There's one thing that I haven't told anyone, and that's that in my video where I put up and installed these lights, I put up 2 and I said I was going to do the rest later, and I just didn't. That's the God's honest truth. I didn't connect the 3 other lights that I was going to, simply for the fact that these 2 have been fine. So I technically have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 5 controllers and only 2 lights actually connected. This here is dangling down. The reason why is because I have to solder the ends of them and it's so fiddly and it just is so tiring to me that I've always just put it off. So slight pivot for this video. What I'm actually going to do is my secret project I'm going to do in another video. In this video, I'm going to finish installing my lights. Next step is to put terminals on the light switches that need it. Then what needs to be done is I need to solder this to this. And I need to complete the soldering for this to this. And then I will have 4 lights installed. There was a 5th one that was up here, but I don't think I need that any longer because that's literally just going to be storage. So having a light in there, technically I already have a lamp in there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish off these lights. Safely managed to put terminals on all of those lights for now. I'm sweating, obviously. So that's good. Next step is to solder, or as a lot of Americans say, solder. I pronounce the L in it because there's an L in it and there's an L in it. So why would you not pronounce the L in it? So I'm going to solder these 2 lights and get them fit up. That is the next thing on my list.
gonna be honest, I've been trying to reattach this light to its little light whatever controller thing for ages, and it's just, I'm really frustrated. So literally all I'm doing is soldering these just three little thin wires to three other little thin wires, and it's just not working. I have no idea what's happening. There's obviously something wrong with one of the wires, but I've realized that I do not like it. It's like super messy, it doesn't like join up properly. So I'm feeling a little bit frustrated right now because I thought it was going to be a chill evening just soldering these three wires so I can put my light above my sofa, but it ain't happening. It ain't happening. So I don't really know what to do. So you don't have to solder them. You don't have to solder the wires. They actually come with actual connectors. These are not the connectors though. These ones are for a different set of lights for the company. This really isn't this hard. It's not. This should not be that hard. It's LED lighting. Don't know what the trouble is here, to be honest with you. But I would keep pissing around there. Oh shit, son. That light you're seeing is from the exact light that I just wired up to a different controller. The reason why it's to a different controller, I'm quite frustrated with myself, is because I was just connecting to the wrong controller. You know what I've just realized, like right now? I should not be doing stuff. I should not be doing any stuff in the evenings unless it's just relaxing. That is one thing that I've just realized just now, because I'm so tired from my workday. I know that I go on about this all the time and I'm like, wah. But I've just realized my own flaw is that when I am putting my mind to do complicated stuff or mildly taxing stuff in the evening, I screw it up because I spend about 3 years doing the wrong thing and it takes me a long time to realize. So I am now going to make sure that I am just relaxing in the evenings and I'm just going to work during the day. That is the promise to myself, and you're catching it live. Anyway, we've stopped talking nonsense. We can actually talk about what happened. Here is the light, working, all fine, all good. It's literally the same as what happened earlier on in this video that you'll be seeing. I just connected it to the wrong controller. There you go, yep. You know, lighter, darker, cooler, warmer. Okay, cool. So we have a working light. Great. That's good. Now I need to put this in one of these, and we're going to put it up on there, basically. So it should be fairly quick. So basically I just have one more that I need to put up there, which I already have one up there. It doesn't have any soldering on it. I might just swap it with this one, solder those wire ends together, and call it done. I've made this way more complicated than I need to. I need to stop doing stuff tired, man. I am such a silly bugger. Okay. Okay, let's carry on. I did it. The place is a mess, as it always is when I'm doing the most simple thing in the world. But I now have 1, 2, 3, 4 lights.
Let's set them all at the same color. Okay. And put them on. Pretty bright, actually. It's very bright. Wild how bright it is. I've got one more here that I may put here, actually. Just directly next to this and just double it up. Perhaps that's what I'll do. I'm not 100% certain. So each of the lights gives the room a different configuration each time. For example, when you have like just the kitchen light on and just the middle light on, it just gives you a kitchen and you feel like that's one room. And then if you have the kitchen lights on and the desk lights on, that's the desk, that's the office. So that's that configuration. When you have all three of these on, the desk, the kitchen, and the middle one, then it just gives you like a front section room. And then when you have just the living room light on, then it just keeps you in a little cozy mode and darkens this area, and it gives you your own little living room sort of space. So each of the lights creates its own little room. So I've definitely felt that with the kitchen and the desk light, and I imagine more as I finish this off, these lights will create their own little rooms. So now that I have finally pulled my finger out and done something about this, I'm going to tidy up. I will have to tidy the wires and stuff up eventually. But for right now, I'm going to tidy all this up. I'm going to get myself packed away. And I'm going to relax for the rest of the night. And I'm going to really try to avoid doing projects at nighttime because I don't do good with them. I've just been house sitting for a few days and I've been back to the truck. So I've had my security system on for the whole time so I can check in on the cameras and stuff. But I just got back to the truck, and because I totally forgot that I had finally inserted these two lights, as I turn the light on, I feel so good in here. Gotta be honest with you, it feels so good in here having like bright lights, having some light from the windows as well, just opening these bad boys up, having some real light coming in. And even though the place is a mess, the fact that I have so much light, let's turn it up a little bit more, tiny bit more. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Woo! So these are all the lights on full. I've got the light coming in from the outside. It's on a nice daylight color. And it feels like that it's not the inside of a box truck, which I think is a good thing. But I just wanted to give a bit of an update as to the lighting situation, just in terms of the general atmosphere that these lights give. Now that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 lights, definitely changes the vibe of the truck. Please don't judge the state of the truck, especially the towel hanging there. Just judge the vibe of the lighting. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty happy with it. And as with everything, should have done it slightly sooner. That's it. For now, clocking out.